Wilson with RVA Realty. I got Virginia here with Downward Dog Yoga.
Yeah.
And we're here to talk a little bit more about your business. So can you give everybody a little introduction about Downward Dog?
Yeah, so Downward Dog came from a spinoff of a mobile business that had been in operation for about 13 years. And in Southside Richmond, there wasn't really a place for affordable yoga that was accessible to everyone, all different socioeconomic backgrounds. And so then in May of this year, we decided to open, and then just a few months later, here we are. We're growing.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So we met each other through a mutual lender, Fred, with Fred Abamonte a couple months ago, and we've been kind of coursing back and forth. So it just shows you how small the RVA community is.
Yes.
So can you tell everybody a little bit more about what was the deciding factor in opening this type of business?
Yeah, so the average yoga drop-in rate is $20 to $24 per person right now. And I kept hearing from a lot of families that they were paying car payments in yoga for their family. So if you think a family of four pays $80 for a drop-in, it really doesn't make a lot of sense. So they go to American Family Fitness, but then places or other businesses like that, you know, they can't really do things together.
Sure.
So we do a family package that is $114 a month, and it's unlimited for the entire family. And people just kind of walk in and they're like in disbelief, like, whoa, this is incredible. But then it's really good for the families where, like, say the mom stays at home or dad stays at home, and it's like, who's going to sacrifice like what for everyone to be able to do something? This way everyone can do something and not feel bad about it. Or the single person that buys a monthly membership somewhere, say a CrossFit gym, they may feel they need to go every day to get the benefit, whereas you can drop in a few times a week and still feel like you're getting your money's worth.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So can you tell us a little bit more about how long have you been open in general?
Yeah, so the idea hit me in February that I needed to start this, and I started looking for locations in Westover Hills and Stratford Hills. Found a great spot in Stratford Hills, and which is right on Forest Hill, and put everything together, which with the studio is really crazy because it's like, what do you need? Walls, mirrors, bathrooms. And we were open in May, and May 19th, and what is it, September? Like, we just turned 4 months old.
Yeah,
right?
so fairly new.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So as far as like location, what areas are you serving or covering? Or most of your clients, are they north, south of the river, or are you kind of getting them from all over?
Yeah, I think we're getting people from all over. The only caveat would be like that toll.
Yeah,
that little toll getting off.
Some people don't like that. Very true. I get it.
Yeah, but Stratford, Southside is growing leaps and bounds. It's kind of like if you think how Scott's Addition is like insane and booming, Manchester and the whole Forest Hill area and corridor is like wild right now. Lots of they're repaving the road, so you know it's a lot going on. So we go as far as I would think most of our clients come from Westover Hills, which is near like Riverside Drive area. Back all the way up through like Bon Air.
Okay.
In that Chippenham area too. Maybe even Chesterfield.
Okay. So cool. That's probably why you picked that area, just based on proximity.
Yeah, so. And the funny story here is that there wasn't a yoga studio over there, and then the same week I opened, a yoga studio opened across the street.
Oh wow.
Like no lie, they had no sign up the whole time, so no one knew. So here I am, I'm beside this great diner. Shout out to Eat 66. They have Eat 33, I think, over on Staples Mill. The owner Alan is right next to me, and he said I was just over at the store across the street and saw there was a yoga studio. So we became like yogi friends because we were like, we have to work together and see like everyone brings out a different market, which is great. So
cool. All right. Well, can you tell everybody a little bit more about maybe what some of the biggest mistakes or challenge you face in running this type of business?
I always say no mistakes, like lessons. That's like big for me.
Answer.
Challenges is, and I'm sure you guys can relate to this too. You always have that feeling like no one can do things like you, or they're not going to do it just like you. But a sense of urgency and like people that you hire. We have a lot of different teachers that bring a lot of different like knowledge in yoga and like different modals of like wellness and whatever that help the community. But what I find is that like it's hard to find people that are just like, oh yeah, like yoga starts at 1, being there at 12:45 and not 12:59, like that sort of thing would be a big challenge. And making sure that I kind of have a person in between myself and the staff now, whereas before I didn't. So it was like, are you friend, are you boss today, like what is it? And so now that I have that separation, I feel a little bit more at ease at like calling the shots and things that like need to happen, or guidelines that everyone needs to follow. Yeah.
Okay. So can you tell everybody a little bit more about maybe one of the most successful things you think in running a business? What would, if you had to pick one thing, what would that be?
Listening to the people that work for me, and I don't even like to say work for me, I like to say like we service a community, like we work for a community, we're building community. We have weekly like meetings or check-ins through like a Facebook group, and I love to just ask everyone what's working and what's not working.
Okay.
Because then if not, I kind of feel like I come across as either the know-it-all, like I know what's best next, and I'm not the one to decide that for other people. So I would say that's probably the biggest thing for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, can you tell everybody a little bit more about your marketing, how they can get a hold of you if they want to find out more about you?
Yeah, so we love social media, Instagram probably more than anything. I think a lot of people do. So we're on Instagram at Downward Dog RVA, and then Facebook Downward Dog RVA. We send out weekly newsletters, so if you want to get a weekly newsletter from us with just like inspiring quotes and information about what we're doing, you can sign up at downwarddogdance.com. My dog is the mascot, so we call it Tank. His name is Tank, and he's a peekapoo. He's an honorary 13-year-old dog. So he looks really cute. He's not always so cute, but we call it Tank Talks, and he sends out little weekly like vibes for the community. So yeah, if you want to get inspired on Monday mornings, sign up and get an email.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So, in conclusion, I appreciate your time. I hope RVA's learned a little bit more about you and Downward Dog. If they want to get a hold of you, what's the best way to call you or email? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
Sure. Call us 804-873-1936, or social media is really great too. Downward Dog RVA, Gmail, downwarddogdance@gmail.com.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, check them out, guys, and if there's any questions, give her a call. Thank y'all again.